Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about phonics, and I'm going to be doing a review for the phonics test. Let me double check my number. Phonics test 17. This was a test we would have taken after spring break, but I wanted to give everyone a chance to review and get settled and all that before they actually started taking tests. So when I give out tests, before I do the test, I always do a review, just because even though they should already know the information, or a test is just a way for them to show me what they already know. I like to review just because a lot of us, we just need to jog our memories, and without doing that, without doing a warm-up, then we don't do so well on a test just because we're a little cold. So I always like to do a review before they take the test, just to help them remember and jog their memories. So the first thing we're going to talk about, it's been a while, but we've done this many times, so they should remember how to do this, but again, it's been a while, so this should help jog their memories. We are talking about diagramming sentences, and the curriculum actually started doing this starting in, I want to say, second grade a couple years ago. And diagramming sentences can be a little tough, but when you break it down step by step, it's really not that bad. So we have our sentence here. Let's see if you can see it. The dog played with the toy. And so the first thing we do is we draw a line between the subject and the predicate. The subject is who or what the sentence is about, and the predicate is basically about the subject. It's pretty much the rest of the sentence. So when we see the dog play with a toy, who or what is the subject? And if you said the dog, you're correct. So you would draw a line between dog and played. And then we underline the simple subject once. Okay, so we talked about a few days ago, well, before break, what a simple subject is. It's inside the subject. It is one word, and it's a noun, and that would be dog. Okay, then we underline the verb twice. So look at your predicate, played with the toy. What word is the verb? And remember, we talked about a verb is something that you do. So played is a verb, so you underline it twice. Then, now all we need to do is diagram. So we've done the hard work. Now, we just need a diagram. So this line here is basically that line there. So that means we just need to write this word here and that word there. So dog goes here. And played. So they're just starting to learn how to diagram sentences. Diagramming sentences, there's a lot more involved, but they're just learning how to diagram. So this is the first few steps of it, just breaking it down like this. So that's your review for diagramming sentences. The next thing we're going to review are the differences between can and may. Oops, I forgot to write these down. Teach and learn, and the differences between lie and lay, and sit, sat, and set. Okay, we've talked about these before, and it looks like, oh my goodness, what a long list. But there's several ways to remember. So may is asking permission. Okay, may I go to the bathroom, please? May I get a drink of water? So may is what you use to ask permission. Can, you're showing ability. You're able to do something. I can get my work done. I can pay attention. So you're showing your ability. Now, lie and lay, I know that it's kind of tricky to remember these two, but there's ways that I use, some ways to help the kids remember. So when I think of the word lie, we're not talking about not telling the truth, right? We're talking about resting, okay? And then lay is to put something down. And you might be thinking, well, what is the difference between the two? How can I tell the difference? Lie is something that, and if we were to use the other word, lie, like not tell the truth, that's something that humans do, okay? It's when you yourself is resting. Or, and obviously a dog can't lie, but it's something that's alive that is doing it. So I'm going to lie down and take a rest. The dog needs to lie down. The cat was tired and wanted to lie down. So you're putting yourself, you're resting yourself. Okay, so anything that's alive, you're doing to yourself. Now, lay is when you're putting something down. And to help you remember that, you can think about birds. They lay eggs. They're not putting themselves down on the nest. They're laying the eggs. Is when you put something else down. I'm going to lay out my clothes for school. I am going to lay out a blanket on the ground for a picnic. So lay is when you put something else down. The difference between teach and learn. Teach is when you're giving out information. Learn is when you are getting information. So teach is I'm going to teach multiplication to my friend. I'm going to teach my mom how I do this kind of art. So you're giving out that information to other people. Learning means you're getting that information in. So I'm going to learn how to tie my shoes. I need to learn how to spell this word. Now the difference between sit, sat, and set, it's pretty easy. They sound a lot alike, but we can look at these two differences. First of all, sit is a lot like lie. You are resting. You are putting yourself down into a chair. Okay? Set is like lay. You are putting something down. Okay, so sit, I'm going to sit on the chair. He is going to sit to tie his shoes. Set, I'm going to set the table. He set his suitcase on the floor. And sat is like sit, except it happened in the past. So it's already happened. He sat down. She sat and tied her shoes. So it's like sit, except it's already happened. And then the next part, we talked about verbs. So what are verbs? It's something that you do. And what is past tense? Past tense means it already happened. So to learn how to take a verb and make it past tense, we have our verb, and we're going to add ed at the end. Now, sometimes we add letters and stuff like that, but right now, all I want you to focus on is that we're adding ed at the end. So when we take the word walk, and that's something that we're doing right now, well, now we've already done it. It's in the past, walked. So we write walk, then we add ed. Okay, so there's our walked. We take pop, and I wanted to pop my gum bubble, okay? And now we're going to say it's in the past, and so we popped it. And obviously, we would add a letter, but the main thing I want you guys to focus on is adding that ed. Popped. I popped my bubble gum, okay? And the last thing we're going to discussing is contractions. So what are contractions? They are two words squished together to make one word, and they use an apostrophe to replace some of those letters. So we've talked about when we have the word is, instead of writing she is, to make a contraction, we squish it together, and that apostrophe takes the place of the I. So instead of she is, she's. He is becomes he's. For are, when we are making a contraction, we squish the two words together. That the apostrophe takes the place of the A, and then you write R-E. So we are becomes were, and they are becomes there. There we go. So if you're still a little unsure on some of the stuff that I just went over, you can watch the video again, do some practice, look over the worksheets that have this information on it, and then when you're ready, you can take the test. And I will also have a video available that you can click on that reads the test to you, just in case an adult is not really around to be able to help read directions to you. Have a good one.